Yeah. Um, the the current chairmanship or presidency of the BRICS is in Brazil, and from the 1st of December to November next year, 2020, from to November next year, the chairmanship would be with South Africa, thus making it an opportunity for South Africa to be able to go and play part of the agendas that are represented by Africa and the agendas that are rather represented by the international community. We know that there is rather a 2030 sustainable development vision. That is one vision that which when you try and approach, we could always put it concurrently with Vision 2030, as we only have 6 years. It's less than 6 years that we can do that, which is a UN agenda. So it is important for us to actually be very progressive. I mean, we also have our internal, or rather our domestic 2030 agenda, which is guided by the NDP, which is a document that was drafted to assist in the development of South Africa. Now we have a UN Sustainable Development document. So the responsibility that South Africa has for the coming chairmanship, rather, it is very big, and it is an opportunity to say that in the international community, or rather in Africa, the stance at which it takes, that is steered or directed or geared towards the Vision 2030, we are able to position ourselves in a position at which whenever we integrate, or rather work within the international community, it is easy for us to go and be part of the international community, and that on our agendas that which we try and get through domestically as an economy are able to be part and are able to be integrated with our international initiatives. So it is rather a beautiful one. Vision 2030 stands as a key and very important direction to take as part of our international stances. We know that Africa on its own, or rather Africa and the global South as a whole, is one of the key areas at which we go and try and create a sustainable economy, or a sustainable integrated international balance of forces that which is gonna assist in the progression of the developments made to this particular point. They have highlighted solidarity, equity, and sustainable development as the key and driving what one would say visions that are going to be taken by the current chairmanship at which we're taking. So we look at sustainability, we talk equity, sustainable development. This is the position at which South Africa has decided, or rather a vision that we decided to put forward as to saying that in all the initiatives that we take, it must be one that unites the continent, number one, and the G20. We consider now the global South to say that whatever economical stance that we're going to take, whatever multilateral or bilateral engagements or agreements that are going to result, or amendments thereof that are going to result of the resolution taken by the G20, they must go and motivate solidarity. They must go motivate equality. They must go motivate sustainable development amongst the countries and to the countries out there, so that we are able to say that in the reforms that we start seeing in our multilateral trading systems, and the reforms that we start seeing in all the affected systems or developments that we have, we are able to say after a few years that we have made so much progress to this particular point. Even in the beyond, in the UN perspective and UN light, saying that whatever progress that we have made within our multilateral or grouping or G20 initiatives, we have indeed contributed to the domestic South African economy. We have contributed to the African agenda. We have contributed to the G20, and we have contributed to the United Nations. So it is rather a very beautiful, or rather a progressive stance that we should find ourselves in, and it gives a direction for the nation to put itself in a stance in everything that we do, to consider that there is some internationalization in an agenda on internationalization that we should carry. So it gives us an opportunity and a stance to go and be closer to the global perspective thereof. We know that there is also there's a governance reform. There's a governance responsibility and a governance reform, which is led by your foreign minister, saying that one of the key responsibilities carried by the I think it was the Global 20 is going to be the strengthening of our governance structures or our governance reforms. It gives us an opportunity to say that in the governance that has been used by the international community, or rather related countries that would be operating with, we as a country are going to absorb something in our plight, or in our movement towards the professionalization of our governance, and all the initiatives that are trying to make sure that our governance is measured and is competitive towards the international governance that exists amongst the countries. So we expect a lot coming from the G20 Chairmanship that is coming up, and we just hope that taking it from its movement within the BRICS, is a great opportunity of continuity. We start seeing the word sustainable development starting stand up. Do you understand? It's a third country now. We're getting closer to saying that there must be something right that we are doing. There must be something right they're doing. There is a particular direction that we're taking. So from AU chairmanship, we see ourselves going to the G20 chairmanship. So indeed, our country has moved in a very positive direction. Indeed, our country is becoming a trendsetter, or rather, it is becoming a trendsetter. We would say it is one that provides examples to other countries at which we rather work together with in making sure that South Africa um, and its machinery and its international machinery to try and reach global stability, to reach solidarity, to reach equality, to reach sustainable development is really getting into a particular direction. So we look forward to that, and all the groupings that are there, your global 20s, your L20s, your double 20s, as highlighted by the Reserve Bank governor. We hope that everything will just will come together and put South Africa in a beautiful position and the international community. And yeah, we also be able to say that when you say Vision 2030, the NDP has surfaced, then we're saying that even the sustainable development of the Vision 20 has also moved to a particular direction. Tembisile Cindy, FSP 54211. Current status quo. Current. It is the status quo.